Today we're back on the Entitled Parents subreddit and I'm so excited. I don't even know why, it just sort of felt like an entitled parent sort of day, if that makes any sense. And yeah guys, thank you for joining me, I really appreciate it. I hope you're excited and I hope you have a wonderful time. Cousin abandoned my niece at my house while I was camping. Over the weekend, my husband and I went on a camping trip before summer season. With its glorious warm weather was officially over, we weren't at home and had no cell reception where we were. We left on Thursday the 7th of September and returned on Monday, September 11. While we were away, my cousin left my niece still strapped to her car seat outside my house door on Friday, September 8 and sent me some text messages. Remember, I had no cell reception where I was camping. I would never have known while I was gone. I saw the missed messages after I returned home. It wasn't a request to ask if I can help her, it was a simple message notifying me that she left my niece in front of my door along with a bag with her stuff for the weekend. She didn't ask me beforehand if I could babysit. There was no possible way for me to know. Even if I did know, I would have still declined unless it was a medical emergency in the family and they had no other choice. I live in a rural area where everyone is on 30-acre plots of land, so no one knew that my niece was there. I had no clue and my neighbors had no clue. My niece was abandoned in front of my door until Saturday noon when my parents came by to drop off my parcels that were delivered to their house. That's when they saw my niece. My parents called my aunt and had her come pick her up. I can only assume that my parents, my aunt and my grandmother scolded my cousin for leaving my niece at my door. When I got home, all I saw was the initial message telling me that my niece was dropped off at my place, then a string of very rude text messages and voice messages from my cousin calling me irresponsible for leaving my niece outside and endangering her. Oh my god, that's not your fault. Because what if the coyotes in my area attack the helpless infant? I'm just so frustrated. Oh my god, I bet you are. That's revolting. And the fact that they blamed you for this, you're the one who left them there. Yeah, 1,000,000% this comment. Report those parents. That's nuts. Yeah, I'm kind of shocked. I don't really know what to say about this. That's so bad. And the fact that they blamed you for this, like I hope their kid is safe. My 24 female mum demanded to be present during my gynecology exam and barged in. Edit, sorry for the confusion, I'm 24 currently and my mum is in her early 50s. My mum knew about my appointment and that I was going to be examined. Clothing would be removed. She wanted to accompany me last minute for support and I couldn't argue with her to stay home or I'd be late. I thought she'd wait outside, she has done so before but for other types of appointments, but instead she tried to go in with me. The staff kept her out and later she knocked on the door and walked into the appointment saying she needed to tell my doctor about my family medical history. I had already told my doctor all of it. She was taken out of the room and the door was locked. When I left the hospital, she wasn't there anymore and was upset that I kept her out. Oh my god, why? I told her it was a very private thing to be asked about your past relationships and getting examined. I'm extremely shy with my body and it's always hard for me to do these things. So of course I didn't want her there or even think for her to want to be there. She told me she wants grandchildren and she's my mum. Therefore it's not that big of a deal for her to be with me during my visit and that I should stop acting like my body is sacred since I'd need to get used to other people, medical staff seeing it. She also told me that my dad is always with her whenever she needs to be examined, so I should allow her to be there with me. I told her that a spouse is way different than a parent and that since she hates to talk about horizontal mumbo and has you-know-what shamed me in the past, she's super religious and hated to see me with anyone, there was no reason for her to be there. Edit, at the time of the appointment, I was temporarily living with my family so she knew that I was going to go to the hospital and forced me to tell her why. If I disagree with her, she'll try to make my life hell and make my family turn against me. Also, the appointment was not related to fertility or pregnancy. I don't live with them anymore, so she doesn't know about my life as I went low contact. This comment, holy hell, is she gonna be there when your kids are conceived too? Yeah, boundaries, have you ever heard of them? Well, the original poster actually commented this. She doesn't think there should be a boundary from her towards me. I always had these awful experiences with her, but I never knew they were not normal until I was an adult. My dad always sided with her and my family told me I needed to listen to her. Yeah, you definitely don't. But yeah, that's so gross and entitled and they need to learn to respect your boundaries. And I'm sorry that you have to deal with this. Father covers for his new wife. He's surprised when I cut him out of my life. I'm starting this out by saying what's done is done. This has been a long time coming and it's well deserved. Please don't suggest I try to reconcile with my parent. Recently I've come to learn that T, my stepmother, who's only been around for 8 years and whom I don't care for, stole $760 $68 from me, 32 male. When I spoke to my father, all he could do was complain about how many problems this is causing him, the stress on his heart and how it's damaging his relationship. He didn't apologize for what she did, he just made the phone call about himself. For a phone call that lasted an hour and a half, I probably spoke for 15 minutes or less. I told him we could talk about it when I get there and figure something out. He then suggested flat out that I can help him work to make back the money. Yeah, sure, let me perform physical labor to earn the money that your wife stole from me and pocket you another $900. Yeah, that sounds great. I was coming in from out of state for a different reason and already planning on staying at the house. This is my childhood home with my room still furnished how I left it. Like my clothes are still in the dresser for when I visit. Plane tickets purchased and I send him the confirmation date. The next day, he then texts me that I'm no longer welcome at the house, that it's time I grow up and seek healthcare somewhere else, and that he just needed to know where to send the money. This throws all of my appointments into the void, and I had to cancel and rebuy plane tickets because of it, and now I'm staying with other family. I know we did it to protect my stepmother from the confrontation of facing me in person. She crumbles to dust if people raises their voice around her or curse too much, even casually. For reference, this woman is in such need of therapy that I cleaned and rearranged the kitchen one morning and they started crying and claimed that I was kicking her out of the house by making it not hers. All I did was do dishes and organize and clean the spice cabinet and pantry. He kept saying that it's for his health, that I'm not there, and that it's too much stress. I have my own money and transportation and provide my own food. The duration of the trip was 2 weeks. I block him and my stepmother on everything. I asked my family to no longer speak to my dad about me, and this is all after a lifetime of abuse and narcissistic BS from my father. Now I hear through the grapevine that he's shocked and just couldn't believe I'd do this to him. My sibling already no longer speaks to him because of similar things, and him telling my brother to grow up and quit being a you-know-what after my sibling set a boundary with him. I had warned him before that if he kept up in his ways, casually racist, homophobic, blatantly inflammatory, he'd have no one to take care of him when he's older, and he didn't listen. If that wasn't enough, my late mum's last words to him were, "Don't let the family fall apart." Way to go, Dad. Thank you for listening. Wow, that's so sad. And yeah, obviously it's not your fault at all, but yeah, when the people in your life are like this, you are gonna have a more peaceful life when they're not in it. And yeah, having to say that about your own family members is so sad. All the best with this, I'm sure it'll get easier. But yeah, I suppose that is one thing to look forward to. If you are no contact with them, then yeah, this stuff isn't gonna happen. But yeah, so sad. My family's making fun of me because I like Animal Crossing and other childish things. I, female 24, love Animal Crossing and I've been obsessed with that game since elementary school. I bought the Nintendo Switch for the new Horizons game, and my mother made fun of me. I tried to explain that it's not for children only and that she might like it. I was on vacation with my aunt this summer. I was ordering stickers to put on my phone case and my aunt noticed. Keep in mind that we just came back from visiting my father's cousin. She has an intellectual disability. So my aunt commented, "Are you sure that you're not the slow one?" Wow, what? I was hurt and I lied about who I was purchasing the stickers for. She later talked to my mother on the phone and laughed about me because I'm slow. Oh my god, what? So you said you're 24. I'm 24. I play Animal Crossing. Literally every person I know plays Animal Crossing. People older than me as well. Because yeah, not only is what they said absolute BS, but even if something is childish, it doesn't mean you can't play it. Yeah, nah, you're not in the wrong here. And it's so awful that they're making you feel bad when they're the ones who are completely in the wrong and so rude. Children at the movie theater. I went for a movie today after a long time. During the trailers, a kid is listening to Baby Shark on high volume. Okay, I'm gonna ignore it because it's just the trailers. Once the movie starts, the Baby Shark stops. Well, 10 minutes in and cue the kid screaming. The mother pacifies him with the tablet again. So now, along with the movie, we all listen to Baby Shark on blast. Like the entitlement of these parents. Finally, the people around them scream to shut that crap down. 1 hour in and another kid starts jumping up and down. Obviously, the kid is done with their attention span for the day. Her parents don't seem to care. People around them scream to get the kid seated. After probably half an hour, they leave the movie. Is a movie so important to these parents that they can't leave once they see their kids revolting? I finally remembered why I stopped going to the movies. It's thanks to the people around me who can't watch a movie in silence and not distracted by their phone. Yeah, I can't even imagine how frustrating that would have been. Baby Shark during a movie? That's not something you want to hear during a movie. Well, to be fair, I don't know if that's something you ever want to hear. But yeah, why do people have to be so frustrating? Angry stepfather tries to make pregnant me climb a ladder. So my stepfather likes to garden. I do not. They have lots of fruit trees and a vegetable patch. I hate ladders and I always have. I can now climb with only some anxiety when I used to get a panic attack getting 2 rungs up. And I'm also 16 weeks pregnant with twins. My mother is injured and stepfather is disabled, so he asked me to go pick some tomatoes and plums. When we go outside, he said he'd get the ladder. I said, I don't think I should be climbing one. He cuts me off and tells me to stop being dramatic as he'll hold it. He starts to unfold it and I say in a calm voice, I'm really not comfortable climbing a ladder. He full on yells at me to just drop everything and go home then. I remain calm. I'm a teacher. I deal with tantrums all the time. And I tell him I'm not saying that. He yells at me the same thing and then just to leave him to do it all. He's fallen multiple times and I told him I couldn't in case he fell. We don't speak as he drops plums into a bucket. He then ditches me and goes inside to pout and tattle to my mum. He tells her that I had a fit about being asked to climb a ladder. Her only response, well, they don't climb ladders, you know that. Update, he's calmed down and sent an apology text. I haven't replied yet. Oh my god, why are they acting like this? You're a fully grown adult. Yeah, like the top comment says, how old is this man? Sounds like a toddler being told no. Yeah, that's so bad. And even if you weren't pregnant and you didn't want to go up a ladder, they still should have respected that. Like, that's already understandable, but it's a million times more understandable if you are pregnant. Like, yeah, fair enough. You probably shouldn't be climbing ladders if you're pregnant, or like doing anything where you can fall and hurt yourself. Oh, that's so frustrating. The audacity. Customer doesn't understand the concept of paying for a gift card. So I work in a retail store and during my shift I was working on the till. For most of the day the customers were normal, some moody, but not too bad. But then 2 women with a little girl showed up and they put 3 items on the belt, but they let their kid keep a PlayStation gift card. I asked if she'd already paid on another till for the gift card and she says no. So I ask if she's paying for it and she says no, she just likes the cards. Then in a much louder voice says, is there a problem? I tell her that she can't just take a product from our store without paying. Policy plus the store gets robbed enough. And she proceeds to huff at me loudly and then take the card out of her kid's hand and smacks it down on the counter saying it's pathetic and telling her kid that the man won't give us the card, we'll get you one somewhere else. She proceeds to glare at me as she leaves and then her friend pays and then shuffled out the door. I know it's not the most exciting of encounters on here, but it's one of my first real entitled encounters in my job, so I figured I'd share. Edit, I think I may need to explain a bit more of the gift card. It was a PlayStation one that cost £10 to activate. My store only sells Amazon, Xbox and PlayStation gift cards, and we don't have any of our own. Also, my store policy is clear about taking any property, even a card they haven't activated, is still not allowed as someone else could have paid for the card. Yeah, so obviously it's not going to work and there's going to be no money on it, but I think they know that because they said no, she just likes the cards. It sounds to me like they're not trying to use the gift card, but they feel like because they're not putting any money on it, they should just be able to have it. Because yeah, they said no, she just likes the cards, as if they just want their kid to play with the card or something. But yeah, even still, it doesn't make it free, or they're trying to resell the card or something. But yeah, you can't just take it. My 61-year-old mum just found out the will of my deceased father's parents, and although she's given 20 grand, the rest of their estate goes to myself, 29, and my sister, 19. My mum has said to us that we have to give our portion to her. Of course, I'd give her money if she needed it, but my dad died 2 years ago and she spent $1 million of his life insurance on trivial stuff. My sister's disabled and easily manipulated, so she said yes, but I feel it's unfair to both of us to be expected to just give her money against what the will says. She's angry and called me selfish, but it's in the will. I will give her some of it because she's my mum and I love her, but surely I shouldn't be expected to give her everything. I feel a bit angry because she was very mean to me, and also because my sister, who is disabled and can't work full-time, might actually need this money to survive. Anyway, I appreciate any comments or advice. Update, we had a long chat and she apologized. She now only wants a small portion in acknowledgement of her being part of the family. Yeah, she still wants something, but it's up to me and my sister to decide where my grandparents are gone. She's still a bit entitled, but whatever. Hopefully things will blow over. At the moment, I'm okay with her having some, maybe 50 to 100,000 out of $1 million. But I'm sure that when I have kids, my priorities are going to change. I'm going to start trying with my husband in the next year or so. And I didn't make promises. My uncle, the executor of the will, found a letter from his father saying that they gave my mum $150,000 already as her inheritance earlier. And upon this realization, mum is somewhat appeased, as is he. I think things are okay for now. Thank you, everyone. I'm still going to copy that will and keep it safe. But I believe the critical period is in the past. Also, she agreed that my sister would only match what I give, which is a major improvement. Oh yeah, that doesn't sound too bad. I love when by the time I read a post, it's already sort of resolved itself. But yeah, that's good. It sounds like everything's going to be okay. And of course, because it's in the will, I'm pretty sure you don't have to give them anything. Yeah, like Like, obviously you want to give them something, but it is pretty generous giving somebody who blew a mil even more money. The next one is called Entitled Mother Ignores Boundaries and Encourages a Child to Open Pet Carrier in Public. This happened just now. One of my pet rats suddenly became very ill. I rushed to the vets on public transport with another rat in the carrier to keep him company. The ill rat was admitted to hospital overnight and the outlook is not good. It's likely that he'll need to be euthanized. I was very upset as I got back on the train, and as I got on, a mother and daughter 5-ish were gasping in delight at seeing a pet in a carrier. I started ugly crying when I sat down and I clutched the carrier. The mother and daughter sat next to me and the mother joyfully encouraged her daughter to ask me what pet I had. Oh my god, what? Read the room, lady. Oh my god. I started crying harder and I said, I'm sorry, I'm not in the mood to chat. I'll need to have an animal euthanized. You can have a look at my rat if you want. I turned away, I put the carrier on the seat next to me and cried more. A few seconds later, the woman is encouraging her child to open the carrier to play with my rat. Okay, he's a big softie, but the train was stressing him out. I pulled it away and I said, please don't do that. The woman pulls her daughter back and says loudly and passive-aggressively, wasn't that lady rude? Wow, what's wrong with people? The child starts laughing at me. I'm listening to sad music, my nose is running, openly sobbing while the woman and her kid insult me. And then you took your rat out and you threw the carrier at them. No, I'm just joking. But for real though, what's wrong with people? What sort of a mood do you have to be in where you are actively making somebody else's day worse? Being so inconsiderate, so rude, and just invasive. Yeah, sorry that you had to deal with this. A parent lost his kid's travel document at the airport. So this dad is traveling to Greece with his daughter. Must have been 12 or 13 years old. He comes rushing to the boarding gate all chill like, hey, we lost my daughter's ID card. Can you make an announcement? First of all, this is an airport. We can't randomly make announcements asking if anyone has seen your travel document. That's like making announcements at the mall asking if anyone found $200 on the floor. And you can't travel if you don't have your document with you. Are you kidding me? She's a child. We politely explained that we can't do that and they should go look for it while they still have time. We suggested they contact the passport control, as there are staff looking around and cleaning and monitoring everything 24/7, and that if anything is found unattended, it immediately goes to the police. So the guy started yelling and calling us ridiculous. He left, angrily leaving the girl on her own, unattended at a gate full of strangers, probably assuming that we'd look after her while we work, and 10 minutes later he comes back demanding that we make an announcement again, and we explained again that that's not possible for security reasons, and at that point boarding had started. So I had this douche yelling at me for not helping him find his daughter's ID card, which he lost while I was checking other people's travel documents and trying to contact the aircraft via radio. We couldn't listen to what the aircraft was asking for because this dude kept asking us for something we told him what he should do with. Eventually he went to look for it again, obviously didn't go to the passport control and just came back at the end of the flight. We told him that without an ID card the girl can't travel, and thus we'll escort him back to the public area to book a new ticket. The girl was crying and sobbing at this point and he just started yelling at her, like he yelled asking her why she's crying, and then he just told her let's go, and I called for him to stop because they have to be escorted outside. His very mature response was something along the lines of F off before you piss me off too. They go to the passport control to try and get out themselves. They can't because they need to be escorted, and the girl's ID card was there. Surprise! He comes back running, yelling that they found it, to which I passively told him that the doors are closed and it's too late now. Wait for another colleague to escort you outside. I left them there and walked away, and so did my supervisor. I love how this dad not only lost his kid's travel document, yelled at her for it, and demanded we take action for him, refusing to follow whatever we suggested to help. We couldn't leave the area for security reasons, and then when we explain what he has to do, he takes off, and then comes back expecting us to do him a service and help him. Some people shouldn't be parents. I felt so sorry for that girl. Yeah, so you told him to go to passport control, and if they listened to you, surely they would have made the flight. Yeah, that's so frustrating, and I feel like that's enough for today. Definitely enough entitlement for one day. It's wholesome memes time. What's an oddly romantic thing that's happened to you on a date? I was on a date with a guy, and when we kissed, his watch started beeping really loud, and we looked down and it said abnormal heart rate. Oh, that's so cute. I love that so much. I'm a little bit nervous, okay? Gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I must inform you that I'm no longer homeless. Oh, yay, that's so awesome. Congratulations. That's what we like to see. No, but for real, congratulations. That must feel amazing. Be me, recently been promoted to manager. Our team has worked hard the last 3 months, but we don't really get the appreciation we deserve. Last month, we worked 800 hours extra. That's amazing. Decide I will give my co-worker some much needed morale boost. I send a mail to my boss how incredible our team has been, mentioned a few names who worked extra hard. I head off to Walmart to buy some beers and snacks, hand them out to my co-workers. Enjoy it, you guys deserve it. The next day, all of my co-workers get a personal mail by my boss saying what a good job they've done. Everyone's happy and the work morale is at an all-time high. So little is needed to make people happy. These are the moments that drive me to become a good manager. I hope your boss treats you guys good. Oh, that's so awesome and good on you for doing this. Like, I don't know if the entire situation is wholesome, you know, like having to work 800 extra hours, but yeah, this person is doing their best and that's beautiful. And once again, thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful time, and if you did and you want to see more Entitled Parents, make sure you like and subscribe. And the comment of the day goes to Go Dino Girl. I love being in a hemisphere that gets to wake up to Vincey. Thank you for wonderful daily videos. You're way too kind. Thank you so much. And thank you for watching my videos. I genuinely feel like the channel keeps getting more fun and more fun. And I've always enjoyed making videos, but I don't think I've ever enjoyed them this much. It's all just so exciting. The channel's growing so fast. The videos are super fun to make. We've had so much horrifying content to read. The stories we've read lately have been super entertaining. And yeah, it's just all around awesome. And with that being said, make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!